So we've been in very close contact for some days now with our interstate colleagues about the rapidly evolving situation in New South Wales and Sydney. We share the concerns of the New South Wales Government about that rapidly evolving situation. And we are very strongly advising all Victorians not to travel to Sydney, as conditions are expected to deteriorate and you may not be able to re-enter Victoria without undertaking quarantining for 14 days. Don't come from Sydney if you are planning to come to Melbourne. Don't go to Sydney if you are planning to go to Sydney. It won't be a holiday, it won't be a Christmas, and it won't be the Christmas or the holiday you are planning. The situation in New South Wales and Sydney is rapidly evolving. We are working on a very close basis of relationship with the New South Wales Government as their list of exposure sites continues to expand. And we will introduce, as of midnight tonight, a permit system based on that risk profile that will be a requirement for anyone returning from New South Wales and Sydney to have in place should they wish to enter Victoria. And I'll get Jerome to talk about the details of that. But essentially, if you are in the Northern Beaches local government area or being directly exposed to any number of the other high-risk sites that are identified by the New South Wales Government, you will not be issued a permit. If you are in the Greater Sydney area, you will be issued a permit through the traffic light system, and indeed if you're from the rest of New South Wales, you'll be issued a permit. The risk profile, the epidemiology changes rapidly as the New South Wales Government, which we have confidence in, will get on top of this. But Victorians have worked really hard to get to the position of 49 days community transmission free of this virus. And we are not going to put that at risk. We will take all the steps that the evidence tells us to protect that. We'll continue to work closely with our New South Wales and interstate colleagues to protect that hard-earned gain, and we will make sure that Victorians have a COVID-safe Christmas, but it's going to be a Christmas like no other. I just want to take the opportunity also to reiterate what the New South Wales Minister said in his conversations earlier today. He talked about an avalanche of complacency in New South Wales. That should be a message to all Victorians that this is not over, that we need to make sure that to stay open, to stay safe, we still need to follow the rules. We still have a state of public health emergency declared in this state. We've achieved remarkable efforts over the last 49 days to have a COVID-free status that we've worked so hard to achieve and that we are now starting to enjoy the fruits of. There is a lot at risk, and we will make sure, based on the evidence, based on the evolving situation in Sydney, that we work closely with our interstate colleagues, closely with our enforcement agencies, closely with the airlines, and closely with all Victorians to keep ourselves safe and to keep Victoria open for a COVID-safe Christmas. I'll ask Jerome to talk about the operational side of how the permit system will work, together with increased measures that the Victorian Government is taking at airports, particularly when it comes to airline crews, which flow from a conversation that the Premier initiated at National Cabinet last week.